They've been saying for years that John Cena buries talent. I don't bury talent. I am talent. I bury mediocrity.
You're a bully. You're a horrible person. You take the weaknesses of others and you turn them into jokes.
I don't give a rat's ass about your lisp, a slimy pickpocket who thinks just because he stole the blueprint he can run the kingdom. There's your why, Cody Rhodes. Because you, with that, disgusts me. You sat by my side for years and stole every secret you need to be undeniable, but you are still underwhelming. You have showed me one thing, and the one thing you have showed me is someone mediocre wearing something meaningful nowadays is enough to trick these people. I have worked too damn hard to make that a symbol of mastery, to have it paraded around by a paint-by-numbers, sociopathic nepo baby who is so into himself he had his wrestling gimmick tattooed for the world to see. It's not where your tattoo's at, Cody. It's what your tattoo is that exposes you to the world for who you are, a common fan like them.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I was chosen. But you know who chose me? They chose me. Can you say the same, John Cena? Or was it one guy in an office who chose you who's not here anymore and we don't talk about it? Know this, I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm a wrestler like my father before me, and if anybody is a company creation, it's you, John Cena, and not me. John, you're still my hero. But you're also a piece of shit.
John Cena's heel turn was a shock to absolutely anyone who has followed WWE in the last few decades, and one of the main symptoms of being in shock is the inability to think straight, and in this specific case, the ability to develop any kind of critical thinking. With that in mind, I found myself reflecting a lot on one thing. Has John Cena's heel turn been well developed, or are we all just in shock by the simple fact of seeing John Cena as a heel? Well, as you may have seen on the thumbnail, I genuinely believe that this is one of the best worked rivalries in recent times, and in this video, we'll talk more about my opinion. But first, I would just like to humbly ask you to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and click on the bell, because that really helps our work. Now, let's get to the content.
We ready to go, baby! We ready to go!
I don't want to be a little cry bitch baby, but going into Raw in London, I had some fears about how this rivalry would play out. And the main one was that it could be repetitive. On the 17th, Cena appeared for the first time in Belgium to explain his actions, and it was pure cinema. In short, Cena screamed from the bottom of his heart that his actions were motivated by the toxic relationship he always had with WWE fans, where he was a puppet of our desires, and that in his words,
your time is finally up, and my time is finally now!
Then we go to Scotland, where we get more of the same. John Cena for basically 20 minutes saying how much he hates and has been wronged by the WWE Universe, while now seeking revenge.
Revenge is best served cold, and I pay you back by ripping your heart out and forcing you to watch as I just walk away with your memories, with your traditions and your dreams, and there is nothing you can do to stop me!
And I don't say any of this in a derogatory way. Both segments were excellent, and Cena, even though he brought the same message, delivered it masterfully, but 2 is enough. And if we had the same promo structure for a third time, it would just be lazy as a mother. But then we go to the land of the Queen, and my fears start to come true. The show starts, and we hear,
And his name is John Cena!
John Cena walks slowly, and from the looks of it, he's gonna start talking. just like he's been doing for the past 2 weeks. And for a second, I might have freaked out for no reason at all. These motherfuckers are going to fuck up one of the best things that's ever happened in the history of pro wrestling simply because these soulless sons of a street bitch are too lazy to stop doing the same shit for 3 weeks straight. But then Cody Rhodes' music hits, and I'm relieved as hell. And as the promo goes on, I'm gonna get even more relieved. But before we get into that, I'd like to point out my second concern, which was how Cody Rhodes has been treated as a secondary character. Throughout these 2 promos, John Cena led the dance completely. It was his lines that genuinely resonated. It was his story that really got the audience interested. And Rhodes, even though he was the top name in WWE and the champion, served only as a mere supporting character who reacted to everything that was said. But to tell the truth, up until that point, it wasn't a big deal, because John Cena's heel turn definitely was, and still is, bigger than any title. But again, it worked well during the first 2 weeks. And if we kept it up like that, we would have had this road to WrestleMania limited, and this story definitely wouldn't reach its full potential. But all my fears seem to have been resolved in this London segment. For starters, they changed the structure of the promo, and for the first time, Cody Rhodes took the initiative and gave us a memorable participation in this incredible story.
We've listened to you talk for 2 weeks. Allow me, John Cena, to do your job for you.
Rhodes did the expected job defending the WWE Universe against the evil John Cena. But much more than that, he showed an aggressive and striking personality, as he has shown at several other moments in his career, but which had been quite faded until this moment, even citing Vince like them young McMahon.
Maybe I was chosen. But you know who chose me? They chose me. Can you say the same, John Cena? Or was it one guy in an office who chose you who's not here anymore and we don't talk about it?
As for Cena, there was also a significant change in his approach. In the last segments, most of his speech was directed mainly against the fans, which is not a problem, because it was his relationship with them that made Cena become who he is. And definitely our bond with him was greater than the rivalry with Rhodes. So it would be necessary for him to take this time to establish himself as a villain before developing his story with Cody. But for that, of course, there was a time limit. And at the end of the day, we are not the ones who will step into the ring against him at WrestleMania. And the time to genuinely start this rivalry is now. John Cena's speech for this event focused much more on attacking Rhodes and his issue with him specifically than necessarily on the fans.
I don't give a rat's ass about your lisp or your failures. You have manipulated your way to the top of this business, and your ego outmatches your ability. All you have done here is ride the coattails of my success. I have been so great that the WWE can hand the heartbeat of this organization to my chauffeur. That's right! Cody Rhodes, your champion, is nothing more than my chauffeur.
Every line was an absolute banger. Even though Cena shared the stage this time, he still masterfully delivered absolutely everything that was expected of him to build this story. And don't get me wrong, we are still a crucial part of the story. Within this narrative, it's us and Cody Rhodes against John Cena and his plans to destroy the tradition that we ourselves created. These are strange times. Adults now scream, "Let's go Cena," and kids, "Cena sucks," and I'm loving every second of it. It's truly one of the best times to be a wrestling fan. But what do you think? Will John Cena break a wish, or will our new toy retain, keeping our world in order? Well, folks, that was our video for today. And I just ask that if you've enjoyed it so far, that you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and click the bell, because that will help us a lot. Stay well, and until the next video.